Most of us grew up playing Minecraft, a game that was a part of our childhoods and provided us with many positive memories and experiences. But now you're grown up, and you move on with your life. You miss the old days of nostalgia and fun. But then one day, you find a disc that has a specific version that you played, your favorite version. This disc promises the same joy and memories from before. But what could be the catch? This case forced me to realize that sometimes memories are better off not being relived. This is a case of Haunting Swim 286. This channel is called Haunting Swim 286. This channel has 22 public videos in the following channel description. Hello, my name is Hussein. I am an Iraqi person, and this channel is dedicated to uploading my videos when I play old Minecraft in 2024. And this channel was recommended to me by one of you guys actually. I'll put the comment on screen right now. Thank you for the recommendation. I was originally going to cover some other ARGs that I found, but unfortunately those ones were unfinished, and I thought it would be a bad practice to cover an ARG and then have a part 2 afterwards instead of just covering the mystery in full. So I went with this one, which I knew was completed. Also, the commenter who recommended me this channel said it had some very odd occurrences, so I'll start my investigation with the first video, The Search. The video The Search starts off very normally, with our player mining trees and playing Minecraft as intended. This normal gameplay goes on for a bit until we see something odd. Our protagonist sees a lone door in the distance and goes to investigate it. Upon entering the door, it would seem that our protagonist is transported to another world. Our protagonist also observes a sign with a very ominous message. Die. They find another door with another sign accompanying it. This one a bit more sinister. Hell. The video then ends. Okay, so doors definitely don't spawn naturally, even in older versions like this. And they definitely don't transport you to other game versions or other worlds, and especially not the literal hell. Also, I wonder what could be up with the signs and who left them. At first the signs seemed to be malicious, but could it just be a warning or potentially a label of some sort? For example, the hell sign was attached to a door that led to a fiery pit after all. Then that would mean these signs are just neutral, but I guess time will tell. However, another mystery presents itself when we look at the description of the video. It states that this is day 3. So what happened to day 2 and day 1, and did anything that happened in those days lead to these odd occurrences that we see in the present video of day 3? I want to remind all of you that this is the first video of the channel, and that we could potentially be looking at 2 missing videos for day 1 and day 2. Though if I want to pursue this mystery further, even if I don't have the previous 2 videos, then I have to go to the next video released on the channel. Our second video, Cave. I stayed quiet that video and didn't give any commentary, because I want you guys to hear it for yourselves, and so that I can better explain the situation. It would seem that our protagonist is running from something and tries to block himself up. And whatever he's running from definitely isn't normal, as the sounds that come from it are very distorted in comparison to our player's regular mining sounds. We can also see from the description of the video that this is the second playthrough on the same day 3. Though this video and the information we learned doesn't give us any evidence to support any theories that we may have at this time. The only thing we know for now is that our player definitely isn't alone, and that something's after him. Though for now we can move on to our next video, Gift. The video starts off with our protagonist walking around a new base and farming sugarcane. Our player then walks around his base while replanting trees, and this normal behavior lasts for quite a while. It isn't until about 1 minute into the video that we see something out of the ordinary. An odd redstone trail that leads to somewhere that our protagonist promptly follows. Our protagonist then sees a sign accompanied by a lever.
Gift.
Just like the first video, our player has now been transported to another world, this time a Minecraft Infinite world. Unlike the previous world, it is now nighttime, and there's also a huge base structure which our protagonist promptly investigates. Nothing really eventful happens as our protagonist just checks out the base and the surrounding area. The video then promptly ends. Okay, so this video was definitely more significant than the previous ones, and some of you have already noticed the flashing visual that came on screen when our protagonist flicked the lever. This is a MediaFire link that leads to a specific file that will help us solve this mystery. This MediaFire link can also be found in the description of the video, however, it's encoded. Decoding it gets us the following translation. We can also see from the description that this is day 3 and this is the third video of day 3. The file associated with the MediaFire link is a file called 00115. There are probably going to be a lot more MediaFire links to look out for in the next upcoming videos, but I think I'll leave those till the end, where I can better explain them after seeing the context of the entire story. But for now, we can move on to our next video, My House in Alpha 1.2.3. Our video starts off very normally with our protagonist mining stone. We get a look at their inventory, and we can see that it's quite full. Our protagonist then returns to their house, enters, and falls into a pitfall trap. Our protagonist has been transported to another world once more. Our protagonist then enters a now smaller base, looks around for a bit, before deciding he doesn't want to deal with this anymore, so he exits the world and then promptly deletes it. The video then ends. Okay, now let's break down what we saw. At the beginning, our protagonist is just mining regularly and has a full inventory. At about 23 seconds into the video, we can see a dark mysterious figure in the background watching our protagonist, right before they fall into a pitfall and are transported to another world, this time with a very skewed inventory and different items. However, the only thing that doesn't change in this instance, unlike the previous videos, is the Minecraft Alpha version, because after our protagonist is transported to a different world, it's still the same version, unlike in previous videos in which the version changes as well. Our protagonist then exits the world and deletes it. But just like in previous videos, we were left with a MediaFire link, which leads to a file called 8654. Though, as I said previously, I want to save those links for later, and I'll now proceed with our next video. In our new video, My New House, we can see that our protagonist is in Alpha version 1.2.5. Everything is pretty normal, and our protagonist proceeds to show us his new base. The base consists of a wheat farm, a watchtower, a cactus farm, and of course the main base. Upon ascending the steps to their main base, we can see a MediaFire link being flashed once more. This leads us to a file called 2548. Moving past that, however, we can see another instance of something being wrong. A sign with some very ominous text.
I see you.
Our protagonist then breaks the sign, looks around for a bit, then ends the video. Okay, so whoever is leaving these signs to our player is definitely trying to scare them or toy with them in some way. And we may even see who left the sign. This is a very easy detail to miss during the video, especially with my headphone warning and the media file link that flashes up. But at 26 seconds of the video, we can see what seems to be another player. Their skin is all black, and they definitely weren't there before. And unfortunately, our next video, The World's Room, doesn't really elaborate too much on it. But what it does elaborate on is another aspect of the series, which is world travel. The video starts off with our protagonist creating a very odd redstone formation. They place redstone torches and a singular lever in a certain way, and then they flick it. Our protagonist has now been transported to another place, and as the sign states,
Welcome to the World's Room.
the room seems to be composed of dirt and has torches and doors with signs accompanying them. These seem to be attached to the various worlds that our protagonist has played on in the past. After inspecting all the doors, our protagonist makes a choice and enters the beta one. Our protagonist has now been transported to another world once more, and they even look into their F3 menu and see that it's in fact beta 1.7.3. Then they proceed to explore their world. After they're finished exploring this world, they construct the redstone machine that brought them to the World's Room. Our protagonist struggles with the lever for a little bit, but then inevitably gets it right, and then travels back to the World's Room. Now that they are back in the World's Room, our protagonist can travel to another world. They decide to enter World 5, the Minecraft Infinite world. The last time our protagonist was here, it was nighttime. Now that it's daytime, we can see the surrounding area as well as the mega base a lot more clearly. We get a little bit more of an in-depth look at some of the structures, and then our protagonist proceeds to explore the mega base. After they are finished exploring their base, they go outside and start constructing a very odd structure. This structure doesn't have any redstone torches and is made out of assorted blocks like slabs, dirt, and cobblestone. And it would seem that this structure is another way to travel to the World's Room. Upon returning to the World's Room, our protagonist decides to enter the Alpha world. Our protagonist is now in his original world, so he looks around for a bit, breaks his redstone contraption, and heads up to his base. He then looks out towards the sunset, and then the video ends. Okay, so those methods of world travel are definitely more advanced than the find a random door and proceed through it that our protagonist did in the first video. And I find it strange that our protagonist even knew how to create this redstone contraption to travel through the World's Room. Because, well, let's face it, this definitely isn't normal Minecraft knowledge. This is a definite shift from accidentally traveling through worlds to purposely traveling through worlds. And I thought it was just interesting to mention. And as you guys may have remembered what I said previously, that the World's Room didn't elaborate much on our Stalker, but our next video conversation definitely does. This video starts off on our protagonist's alpha world and their base as they gather materials. They end up getting some redstone torches and get materials to craft a sign. They then show us that the world is in peaceful mode. They then use the regular torches to light up the surrounding area, and the redstone torches in the sign to make some sort of contraption. Our protagonist then begins to converse with our stalker. Who are you?
I have magic.
What is your name?
Shadow 560.
Leave me alone.
No.
I will delete the game.
I will spread terror in your heart.
You can't.
Run, 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 run.
Our protagonist, now very shaken, destroys their messaging system, gathers the materials, and runs up to their base. The video then ends. The video I just played for you all probably holds one of the most substantial pieces of evidence that we need to solve this mystery. We definitely know now that whatever is stalking our player definitely has some sort of malicious intent. Whether they want to hurt our player or just simply scare them, we have yet to see. Though, our player is definitely scared. We now have a name for our entity, which is Shadow 560, which I will be now referring to as Shadow. We also know now that Shadow has some sort of power over the game, that he's able to access our player's single player world even though they're not logged in. Also, it's worth mentioning that from the description of this video we can see that this conversation happens on day 10. And I did mention previously, but the world's room, which was the previous video, happens on day 8. So there's a whole day in between in which is unaccounted for. Though for now we can move on to our next video, Minecraft Unknown. The video starts with our protagonist having a very broken Minecraft client, with the menu options being non-existent. Our player then creates a new world, but it's very glitched. There are textures missing, everything just very off. With even our protagonist's avatar being completely blacked out. Item names are missing, crafting is broken, and items don't stack like they're supposed to. Later on, our protagonist sees some signs on a beach. However, these signs are blank, and our protagonists themselves cannot even edit them. So they just break them and move on. Our protagonist then continues to play like this until they're forced to stop. This next part I have reduced in sound quite considerably, but for all you guys with audio, I give you guys a warning. The video then ends. Okay, so other than the crash that happened, there's nothing really significant with that video we just watched. It doesn't really give us any information that we can use to formulate any theories, and all that we know from the description of the video is that it's day 11. But something tells me that in our next video, Find the File, we'll definitely find something of use. Unlike our previous videos, this video does not start in Minecraft, but instead a computer file system. As our protagonist scrolls through their file system, we can see the different game versions associated with this client of Minecraft. Our protagonist then finds a folder on their file system called Unknown. This folder has a text document that has some information about Minecraft, but otherwise it isn't very significant. Though it's what our protagonist finds next that is truly terrifying. Our protagonist finds a text document in their file system addressed to them, by name, their real name.
Hussein, do you think I will leave you easily? Did you know that I can switch between versions and send you messages from other versions of Minecraft? I will ruin all your worlds. I will ruin the game. I will not leave you alone.
It's also on this message that we find another MediaFire link, this one leading to a file called Shadow. Our protagonist then closes out the document, and then the video ends. Okay, so contacting someone in Minecraft through some creepy means is already bad enough. But going into someone's file system and creating a message for them using their actual name is something entirely different. It's definitely obvious by now that whoever our protagonist is dealing with is no ordinary person or thing, and they definitely mean to ruin the game for our player. And in the next video, we'll see them do just that. So I start with our next video.
Fire.
This video starts off a lot more spontaneously than our previous ones. Our protagonist is on their alpha world and their base is engulfed in flames. Our protagonist looks up at their base, while also spotting a flint and steel and sign on the ground. They discard these items and decide to go try and save their base. They do their best to do what they can to put out the flames. They also start trying to rebuild the frame of the base by using their cobblestone. They get a water bucket from a chest and attempt to put out the flames, but their attempts are futile. Their base is now destroyed and their day is ruined. Our protagonist then looks on helplessly at their base and then discards their items. It's also at this point that we see another MediaFire link, this one leading to a file called 0986. Our protagonist then exits the world and deletes it. The video then ends. It would seem that Shadow truly delivered on his promise to ruin the game for our protagonist. I would like you all to imagine if you were this player. You just want to play Minecraft and have fun just like you did previously when you were younger. You want to build a base, have fun, but then it's all torn away from you, burned in front of you by someone you don't even know. It's truly a very harrowing and terrible thing to imagine. Not continuing to dwell on that, however, we can move on to our next video, testing beta and 1.0. The video starts off with our protagonist looking through varying options on the menu, then creating a new world. However, this world seems to be pre-made and may have even came with this client of Minecraft, as there are already pre-built obvious structures and tutorial-like signage. And as you can see scattered around the world, as you can even see from the beginning of the video, are a bunch of dirt pillars. Brushing past this fact, however, our protagonist starts to read the signs and follow the tutorial instructions. Our protagonist then proceeds to explore the world some more, looking at all the dirt pillars. One dirt pillar in particular has an ominous sign.
Dead.
Our protagonist breaks the sign and discards it, wanting to ignore it. Our protagonist then moves on and plays Minecraft normally, breaking trees and making basic tools. They then kill some cows to get food and proceed on. They then gather a lot of dirt and start pillaring up to the top of one of the dirt pillars. Our protagonist, now at the top of the dirt pillar, looks over the world and into the distance. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong or anything out of the ordinary, so our protagonist then ends the video. There's nothing really interesting to say about the video we just watched, except that our protagonist's world is still definitely being influenced by Shadow, and that our player's attempt at normality definitely didn't work. Moving on to our next video, which is, well, the title is on screen. It's encoded, and decoding it gets us the following translation: moving between worlds. And in this video, that's exactly what our protagonist is going to do. This video starts off with our protagonist making another world. At first, everything seems normal, until they see something. They spot a redstone torch accompanied by a redstone trail. Our protagonist, surprised that it's there, follows the redstone trail, and it leads them to a hole in the ground. Curious, our protagonist jumps down the hole, and then the following sequence plays out. After traveling through various worlds by falling through the hole, our protagonist finally lands in a very glitchy world, a Minecraft Beta 1.3 world. Our protagonist then proceeds to walk around for a bit, until the video ends. If we take a look at the description of the video, we can see that it's encoded, just like the title. Decoding both the title and the description, we get the following text. We can see that it's day 15, and that it's the second video of day 15. Just like the video we saw just now, the next video is encoded as well in both its title and description. Decoding it, we can see that the title of the video is called Message, and that it's day 16, and we also uncovered another MediaFire link, with this MediaFire link leading to a file called 15392. Now that we have discovered these secrets in both the title and description of the video, we can watch the video itself. The video starts off just like one of the previous videos, Find the Message, in the file system. Our protagonist is looking through the file system and finds another text document addressed to him.
I have a very strong power. I can erase you in seconds, but I will continue to bother and scare you. Do you think that I am alone? There is someone else with me. You will see him later.
We're also presented with the same MediaFire link from before, then the video ends. Once more, we can see that our Stalker is trying to make our protagonist scared. But more importantly, they mention another, and in the next following videos, we'll see exactly what they mean. This video building in beta 1.6 starts off pretty normal, and for the rest of the video it's very normal as well. Our protagonist basically just builds a base and plays Minecraft regularly. This is consistent for the entire 5 minutes or so duration of the video, and nothing really significant happens. We also know from the description of the video that this is day 17, though it's what happens in our next video which is the most significant, because in the next video we have another conversation. The video starts off with our protagonist getting materials just like in the previous conversation video. You can also see another MediaFire link. After gathering the necessary materials, our protagonist crafts another sign and creates another messaging system, this time with redstone instead of redstone torches. They then begin to converse. Who are you? Are you someone else?
I am Shadow 560 Assistant.
What is your job, and why are you following me?
You have to pay the price.
What price?
We will tell you later.
Our protagonist then destroys the sign and puts the materials back in his base. The video then ends. Okay, so I'd definitely like to talk about this. I have two possibilities of what could be happening here. Either one, Shadow is lying and that this is just him and not his assistant, and that he's by himself, or there's a group at work here, and they're all trying to terrorize our player. On one hand, Shadow could be propagating himself as something bigger than he actually is, but then also on the other hand, he is scaring our player already. So feigning that he's part of a group might not be the most beneficial, unless he really is trying to make our player feel as if they're surrounded, and that they have to give in to their demands. This is also where we're introduced to a potential ransom of some sort, in which Shadow's assistant, or maybe Shadow, whoever it actually is, talks about a price that needs to be paid. This doesn't exactly mean that it to be a monetary price, but it could definitely be. Though until I get more information, I will start off with our next video, go to the nether. The video starts off with our player in a beta 1.6 world, the same one from before with the same base, and now going to the nether. Upon entering the nether, everything seems normal, and our protagonist plays just like how you regularly would, exploring the nether and getting materials, including glowstone. It isn't until our protagonist returns from the nether that we see something very shocking. Also, we can see that our player gets the getting wood achievement despite making their house out of wood, which isn't a significant part of this video, but I thought it was worth mentioning. After replacing all the corners of the nether portal with cobblestone, our player sees someone in the distance. Warning for headphone users. This is probably our protagonist's first actual look at their stalker, whether it be Shadow 560 or his assistant. Though what I find interesting, however, is that even one look at them causes game to crash. We can also see that from the description of this video, this is day 20, a full 3 days after our previous video. At this point, I think you guys can notice, just as I have, that there are major gaps in each upload. This may support what I said previously all the way at the beginning of this video, in which I said that there might be 2 missing videos, but now that there might be even more. We're definitely unraveling this mystery further, and I will do so a bit more with our next video. The very simply named, Put Glass in My House. In this video, our protagonist, well, puts glass in his house. Before he had oak wood, and now he's getting proper windows. While putting in his new windows, however, he sees a mysterious block outside. He goes outside to investigate, and then interacts with it. Our protagonist is now trapped in a room made of the blocks, with only a lone sign in the middle of the room.
You have to pay the price.
Our protagonist then defiantly breaks the sign and types a very defiant message. Me personally, if I was trapped in a place, I would definitely not try to anger my captors. No. Our protagonist then logs out of the game, then reloads the world. Upon rejoining, they're hurt, and the no sign text is replaced with a bunch of H's. With nothing else to do, the video ends. This is the second instance in which a protagonist is being asked to pay the price, and we'll see another instance of this in the next video. Creative mode and beta 1.8. The video starts off with our protagonist creating a new world, this time in creative. It would seem that after being so powerless, they've switched to creative mode, so they at least have something. For a small while, our protagonist is having a lot of fun, making it rain with diamonds and enjoying themselves. That is until they turn around and see a very ominous brick structure. They are now presented with a choice.
Hussein, either join us or you will regret it. With us. Against us.
It doesn't take him long to make a choice. Upon making a choice, we can also see another Mediafire link. Our protagonist then relogs and is met with the following message.
You made a big mistake.
Our protagonist then proceeds to blow up the structure. Our protagonist then leaves the game and deletes the world. The video then ends. From the description of the video, we can see that this is day 23. The video before that, Put Glass in My House, was day 21, and the one before that, Go to the Nether, was day 20. Also in the description, we can see the encoded Mediafire link that flashed during the video. This one leads to a file called 1945646. The video we just watched was very interesting for another reason. The stalkers didn't just ask our protagonist to pay a price, but also asked for them to join them. So what could the group actually be about? With these questions and many more, I only hope that we can find the answer to them in our next video. Reply to the message. This video starts off, like some of the previous ones, in the file system, and our protagonist finds another text file addressed to him.
You have 1 day to pay $1,000 or you will be hacked.
But I don't have that amount. Our protagonist then closes the text document and the video ends. Okay, so now we know what our group of stalkers is actually about. The reason they're able to influence and control our protagonist's world even when they're not online, and how they're able to send messages to him through his own file system is because they're hackers. It would seem that they also wanted our protagonist to join their group before asking for this ransom. They are now threatening to hack him if he doesn't pay up, and as our protagonist said previously, he doesn't have that amount. And with all that being said, I can move on to our next video, which doesn't give much room for imagination. I was hacked. Our protagonist finds another text file addressed to him, this one stating that this is his last chance.
Last chance, Hussein. Will you pay $1,000 or not?
Our protagonist hesitates for a bit, but then eventually replies. I said I don't have that amount. No. He then closes the text document, and the inevitable happens. Headphone warning. Well, that video was definitely something. Our protagonist has been stalked, harassed, and almost extorted for money. Now, the game is ruined for him. There's no fun anymore, there's no peace. What's the point of playing a game if it just provides you with more stress? So our protagonist only has one more thing left to do, and that's to get rid of the game. This video, unlike other ones, takes place in real life, with our protagonist holding a disc with a free cracked version of Minecraft. With the disc now destroyed, There's only one public video, the most recent video, remaining on the channel. I'm sorry, Minecraft. The video features constant buzzing noises, so I've normalized the audio so you guys can hear me a bit better. There are frequent screenshots of all the Minecraft worlds that we've seen our protagonists travel through, and is really just meant to be a reflection of what once was. There are some more significant parts of the video, however, in which our protagonist speaks to us through signs and messages. I'm lost. My time, my fun, I'm... Our protagonist then opens their file system and deletes the various worlds that they've created, making sure that they can never be terrorized by them again. Our protagonist then leaves us with a final message. I'm sorry, Minecraft, and thank you for the beautiful childhood, but we grew up and Minecraft has changed a lot. It's not like before. I don't know if the reason is that we grew up or we got bored. It's time to focus on other things. I'm sorry. Goodbye, my childhood. The final video of the channel then ends. It ended with a very sad realization, but the videos publicly may have ended, but the mystery is still ongoing. Because as you guys know, we've been collecting the Mediafire links, and there are some that I haven't mentioned until now. Because in one of our previous videos, I got hacked video, if we take a look at the description of the video, we can see an encoded Mediafire link. Decoding it gets us our link, and leads us to the following file, 974-32579. And with that one found, we now have all our Mediafire links. And our mystery solving and decoding doesn't even stop there, because some of these files are locked. Now we can start with the investigation of our first file, 00115. This file is unencrypted and has a text file with the following text. I was playing Minecraft normally, but then I noticed some strange things happening, like signs and strange noises. Maybe there's something wrong with my world. Fear fills me. We can see even from the beginning how scared the protagonist really was. And moving on to our second file, 8654, we find a locked file within, though we are given a clue in a text document that accompanies it, 24680. This file can be solved by substituting the numbers that aren't there, that being the odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Doing this, we are revealed a document that has the following text. I'm starting to go crazy. Why are there traps and signs and buttons? What's happening? Why or who is transporting me to my worlds in Minecraft, other versions? I'm starting to suspect that this game is haunted. This message really shows us the type of paranoia that our protagonist had because of what was happening to him. Our next file is 2548. And with it, we have another locked file called 3456 and a text document. The text document has the following information on screen. And at first I thought we had to match the 3456 with the corresponding numbers, but this one was actually much more simpler, in which we have to rearrange the letters and numbers in ascending order. So rearranging those numbers and letters, we can get the following: QKTHMUX. This gives us two image files, alpha version 1.2.3-02 and alpha version 1.2.5. And it would seem that these are from the perspective of Shadow, as both of these POVs align with where we've seen Shadow in the series so far. Speaking of Shadow, our fourth file, Shadow, has a text document. This one has Morse code. Translating this Morse code, we get the phrase, Alpha. If we plug this in for our password, we get access to a video file called 560. This video seems to show us the point of view of Shadow in the My New House video, as we see that he ends up in the same spot as before, and that we see him actually physically right in the sign. In our fifth file, 0996, we can find a text document that has some very similar code to the codes that we've seen in the description of the video that led us to the MediaFire links. Plugging this string of numbers into a translator, we get the numbers 98101-11697. But this isn't the password. If we put this now current string of numbers into a translator once more, we get the phrase beta. Putting this as our password, we get access to a video file called 56045. This seems to show Shadow 560 burning down our protagonist's house and then hiding. And I would like to say that it's very interesting seeing Shadow actually commit these acts. That he wasn't just on when our protagonist was offline, but actually there in the world, manipulating things from the background. Our sixth file, 15932, has a text file that has Morse code, just like the previous Shadow file. The translation is infidev, and with that translation we get the password, and we find a file, a photo file, which is the POV of Shadow 560 looking into the distance. And on my first watch through of the series, I didn't even catch this until I was editing this right now. If we go into our Traveling Through Worlds video, we can actually see him. Now I even wonder how many times Shadow's been watching us, and we just haven't noticed. Though very uneasy and very uncomfortable thoughts aside, we can move on to our next file. Our seventh file, 725439, has a text file with some binary code. Just simply putting this binary code to our translator, we get the translation, old. And with that translation as our password, we uncover a photo of Shadow 560's assistant. So I guess he wasn't just lying to make himself seem bigger. We can tell this is someone else as their skin is gray, and they're a lighter color than Shadow 560. And from the screenshot, we can tell that this takes place in our second conversation video, when Shadow's assistant was first introduced. Though now that we know he actually does have an assistant, it makes me wonder a little bit. Just like how they offered our protagonist to join them, was Shadow's assistant once a victim just like our protagonist? One can only wonder how many victims Shadow 560's had in the past. Our eighth file, 1945646, has a text document with binary, and a locked text file called Day 2. Translating our binary, we get the phrase 2024. This is the year that the channel was dedicated to uploading Minecraft videos from. Using 2024 as a password, we get the text document that states the following. There are strange things happening to me in Minecraft. I'm nervous. And in our last file, 974325579, we get a text file with the following information. It's a jumble of the 3 different types of codes that we've solved so far. Multi-decoding our text document, we get the string RT, ERC, VXZ, QR, and M. Putting this in for our password, we get a final photo called Day 1. The photo seems to depict the free Minecraft disc, and we see that it is indeed an old cracked version. Though one may wonder how our protagonist even got a hold of this disc. Well, to find that out, we have to backtrack a little bit and look at the last video of the channel, specifically the description, in which our protagonist says this. Day 146, after 42 days from smashing Violet disc. Some of you may ask where I got this disc. I found it thrown away in a junkyard, wrapped in a transparent bag, when I was throwing away some trash. So there you have it. Our protagonist got roped into this entirely by chance. They never asked for any of this, they just wanted to play Minecraft normally and have fun. And I even wonder who was the previous owner of this disc and why they threw it out. Could it be Shadow 560's assistant, maybe? Because I would definitely assume that all the strange things that are happening are isolated to this version of cracked Minecraft, as it would probably have a lot of vulnerabilities for Shadow 560, who is the hacker, to exploit and be able to control. Though if you have a different idea, let me know in the comments. I also wanted to take this time to apologize for the poor editing and very different audio when it came to my mic. I was having a lot of mic trouble this video session and I had to change a lot of settings. Like always, my full case file will be in the description of the video, as well as all the relevant information. Though I promise you all that the next video will be very high quality and all my mic issues will be fixed, and that I'll be covering an ARG that I've been having my eyes on for a while. One that I think all of you will find very interesting. But until then, I now sign off.
But I would like you all to remember that some memories aren't worth being relived.